How's it going, everyone? This is the Merusen Mac 11, and let's start off by talking about that insane rate of fire. You're going to get roughly 22 rounds per second with this, meaning it will empty its magazine in about 1.4 seconds. That rate of fire is going to be untouchable by just about every other full auto gas blowback gun on the market. Now that rate of fire is made possible because this is made almost entirely of ABS plastic. Now of course that does have a trade-off. You're going to get some insane rate of fire, but it's not going to be as durable as if it were metal. So that is something to consider when buying this. This gun is supposed to use HFC 134A, which is light green gas, but it just has a little bit less pressure. This will mean that you will break less parts than if you were using green gas, but it will be a little bit slower, so that is something to keep in mind. Now, as I said, this gun is made almost entirely of ABS plastic. The grip's plastic, the body is plastic, the charging handle's plastic. As a matter of fact, I think the only thing that is not plastic is the adjustable stock. Now, I would personally never use the adjustable stock because I would just use it as a pistol. But if you want it, it's there. Now, I have not taken this gun to its limit yet, but I would imagine after a couple thousand shots, this would be right about to break. Shooting modes on this are going to consist of safe, semi, and full auto, but I would personally just leave it in full auto, because if you don't, that'd be like having a Formula 1 car and leaving it in neutral as you try to go around the racetrack. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, something that was interesting about this gun was that the magazine release was on the very bottom of the grip. With most guns, you're going to see a little button on the side where you can press it and it gets the magazine out very quickly. With this gun, it was a very strange process to get the magazine out because you had to pull the little lever on the bottom and then pull the magazine out. But personally, I just prefer a little button on the side that you can press. I think it's just much faster, but that's just me. Now, these sights on this were pretty terrible, but for me, that's not a huge issue because I would just leave it in full auto and use it that way. But if you do care about accuracy in your machine pistol, then just know that this is not the gun for you. Now, for me personally, I did not like the ergonomics on this gun. I felt that the grip was just a little bit too thin for my finger to go on the trigger properly, and so I was just not a huge fan of that. The shooting experience on this gun was pretty fantastic. 22 rounds per second in a gas blowback gun is so much fun to shoot. And in semi-auto, it was not that bad either. The blowback is so fast that follow-up shots are very, very quick. And the trigger was actually very crisp, which was fantastic. Loading the BBs into the magazine was not a fun process at all. With most guns, you can pull down the spring, and then there's a nice little space where you can put BBs in with a speed loader. That makes loading BBs into the magazine extremely quick. With this gun, you had to pull down the spring, and then there wasn't a space to put the BBs in, so then you had to use your speed loader and put it into the feeding lip, which could only accept a couple BBs at a time before a couple BBs got stuck at the top. So all in all, it was just a really, really terrible way to put BBs in. So that right there was a big con for me. Now, final thoughts are that the build quality was not very good. The plastic just felt very cheap, and I was not a huge fan of that at all. Ergonomics were also not very strong, but it was kind of all worth it just for that insane rate of fire. 22 rounds per second is just so much fun to shoot with, and I think if you get this gun, it will not disappoint. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you all next time.